Today I'm going to be breaking down how you can 3-star any base here at Townhall 10 using GoHo. So here is the army composition you guys can see on screen. As with all GoHo attacks, you're going to be coming in with that kill squad and the hog riders on the back end. Now I love using GoHo, especially at the lower town halls. It starts at Townhall 8, I love to use it at Townhall 9 as well, and it's still really effective even up here at Townhall 10 because you get the use of that siege machine. So we've got 3 attacks today where I am going to break down this strategy. So let's jump into it. So there's a few things you want to keep in mind when it comes to GoHo. The first of which is making sure you take down the enemy clan castle troops. You want to try and come into a side where you're going to be able to achieve that. And typically you're going to want to try and pick off the Archer Queen for the defending side, and if you can possibly get it, the Barbarian King as well. But you'll see on this particular example what we're going to do to start: 1 Golem, 2 Golem, those are going to be used to tank. We have Wizards coming in behind, we then have our King and our Queen, and then we're going to have our Log Launcher coming in. Now the aim with the Log Launcher, like we can see here, is to open up a large amount of compartments. We want to open up as many as we possibly can just to make sure we are crushing a big portion of the base and it leaves a nice path for our hog riders. And when that log launcher pops, as you can see it has right here, we are going to have super wizards coming out of it. And with those super wizards, what you want to do is you want to use a rage spell and a heal spell on them to get maximum value. The rage spell to increase their DPS and speed, and the heal spell to keep them alive and active for longer. So let's go ahead and play, and you guys will see they're going to tear through this entire top section of the base. Unfortunately, on this particular example, we actually see our King go slightly off course to the outside of the base, but that's not the end of the world because we created that funnel early on using our Golem and Wizards in from this left hand side, and that means the King then had nowhere else to go but back into the core of the base. Of course, with our King, I keep saying it, the best ability for him is going to be the Giant Gauntlet with the Rage Vial on this particular example, but if you don't have that, you can use whatever equipment you find is best. And for the Queen, we're going to be coming in with that Frozen Arrow, and again, if you don't have that, you can choose something. Potentially the Giant Arrow is also a great option at the lower town halls. But if we go ahead and play, here come those hog riders, and in this particular example, we don't actually need to be too strategic with it. We're going to be very fat fingered here, for another use of words, with our heal spells because we have so many of them. We've got 3 heal spells, and honestly, we probably don't even need the rest of them on this particular example, but we might as well go ahead and use them just to guarantee that 3-star. Because our kill squad here got so much value, the hog riders really didn't have too much to do. So we just spammed them in on the back end. We used those heal spells. We're actually going to swag a couple right there. We're going to swag the Queen's ability as well, and this one is going to be a pretty easy 3-star using GoHo. This strategy is great because if you're like me, you've gotten really used to using this down at Townhall 8 and Townhall 9, and I didn't like to change up my strategy too much. I like to do something that I know and that I'm comfortable with, so using GoHo up here at Townhall 10 is still really viable. So for me, it was my go-to army. And the next example we have is a slightly more typical base you might see. We don't actually have any examples of anti 2-star bases. They're all going to be anti 3-star bases here with the town hall towards the outside, because typically at Townhall 10 it's very easy to 3-star, so we want to run more anti 3-star bases. But again, we're setting up this army the exact same way as we have in the previous ones. We're going to use a Golem with some Wizards, a Golem with some Wizards. Their aim is to create the funnel to push our King, our Log Launcher and our Queen into the core of the base, because the thing that's going to be getting the most value is coming out right here, and that is the super wizard. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to drop down the heal spell, we're going to drop down the rage spell, and the aim here, like I said, is to pick off as many defensive buildings in the core of the base as we possibly can. And that means then we can start to be pretty smart here with our hog riders, and we're going to drop down that first heal spell. That is going to be used to help us get through this multi-target inferno, and we're going to continue to sprinkle them in on the back end of this one. Slightly less spam with the hog riders on this one. You'll see we've got cold soggy toast, going to be a little bit more strategic here with those hog riders, because if you do hit giant bombs, they can of course do some significant damage. A double giant bomb up here at Town Hall 10, it won't kill your hog riders, but you do need to be careful with it because it can still do some serious damage. But what I would say is, be comfortable using your heal spells. Use them as and when you need them. You're going to see Toast coming in right here with his next heal spell just to help get through this multi-target Inferno. We unfortunately actually have a skeleton spell doing quite a lot of damage to our hog riders here on the back end. But of course we do have that free spell which we're actually going to see coming in here, helping us get through the Inferno Tower and those skeletons, swagging another heal spell, showing just how strong this strategy is. Wizards, we did hold on to a few of them just to help clean up here on the back end, but this strategy is honestly very, very strong. These attacks are all going to be done, you'll see, in hard mode, proving that it can be done at pretty much any level, even when the game is going to be a little bit harder. So that's another 3-star. We have one more example. Let's jump into it. So here we are with the final example. Again, we're going to be kicking off with a golem and a few wizards in behind. A golem and a few wizards in behind. We're going to give them a second or two just to start creating that funnel, and then very, very simple, log launcher filled with super wizards, king and queen, both with epic equipment if you have it. Remember, if you don't, it's not the end of the world. You can pretty much do this with any equipment you want. Log launcher's goal here, trying to get maximum value, but unfortunately on this particular example, you'll see it is going to get taken down pretty early on, but we just rage, we heal, and we then push through. Look at the damage we are able to get from those super wizards, smashing through everything. King using his ability to great effect there as well. And here come those hog riders. Yet again, we're going to see Toast being strategic with them, trying to get the maximum value, making sure we don't put too many in the one spot. But here they come. We're going to use that heal spell in right there just to help us get through that multi-target Inferno. Personally, I probably would have used a heal spell slightly earlier in the attack just to keep a few more hog riders alive, but honestly in this particular example, again we see that kill squad get so much value that on the back end of this one we're going to completely crush it. We have another heal spell and free spell on this one to swag, and it's a really dominant 3-star again. So what I would say is, at Town Hall 10 there are so many different strategies you can use. At Town Hall 8 you're fairly limited. At Town Hall 9 you start to get quite a few more options. You can start to bring in queen charges and stuff like that. And at Town Hall 10 there are so many options, but sometimes it's nice to stick with a strategy that you're comfortable with, that you know, that you understand. And the only difference here is the log launcher coming in with our kill squad and then using the 2 spells on those super wizards when they come out. But hopefully this video has helped to show you that GoHo is still a super viable strategy down here at Town Hall 10, and you can use it to crush bases even in hard mode. So if you did enjoy this video, I'd really appreciate it if you guys could go down and leave a like on the video, subscribe too for lots more content just like this one here on the Town Hall.